So therefore, basically, another main task is the advising the government of Andhra Pradesh and local governments regarding the conservation-related activities of biodiversity in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So I would like to now make a small presentation on the activities and achievements we have done in the last 1.5 year to 2 years. Can somebody confirm whether the presentation is yeah, this is the brief details about Andhra Pradesh. Our geographical area is 1,62,975 kilometers square, and population is about 5 crores. And we have a long coastline of 974 kilometers, and reserve forest area about 23%. And we do have trees outside forest about 3%, with a total of about 25.86% of the geographical area under the reserve forest or tree cover. And we have coastal Andhra Rayalaseema regions distinctively, and we have got about 5 agroclimatic zones, and we have 13 districts till recently, about 2 days back, on 4th of this month. Our government have bifurcated the districts and made 26 districts out of 13, and 6 agroclimatic zones are distinguishable in the state of Andhra. And a brief of diversity snapshot of Andhra Pradesh. We are endowed with rich biodiversity comprising of over 3,150 plant species, 103 mammalian species, 365 bird species, 100 reptile species, and over 15,000 invertebrates. And we have got many endemic species, that means which are localized only to a particular region or area and limited to Andhra Pradesh only, like Jordan's cursor in the Lankamaleshwara Wildlife Sanctuary area, and golden gecko, slender loris, and red sanders, and Cycas bedomi, Shoria thambagiana. Mainly, they are located in the Seshachalam Biosphere Reserve surrounding Tirupati area in Chittoor, Kadapa, and Kurnool districts. And we are blessed with a variety of ecosystems, like starting from coastal mangroves and moist deciduous forest, dry deciduous forest, Eastern Ghats, Nallamalais, wherein our tiger reserve is there, Nagarjuna Sagar, Srisailam, only tiger reserve in the state. And it is the largest tiger reserve with 3,257 square kilometers of area. And we have some species like fishing cat in the mangroves of Koringa Sanctuary in the East Godavari and Krishna districts. And we have great Indian bustard in the Rollapadu Sanctuary in Kurnool district. And Cycas bedomi, it's called as a living fossil because they're almost like contemporaries of dinosaurs. And then, they have survived the millions and trillions of years. And it's a pride of Andhra Pradesh. And then red sanders, the Pterocarpus santalina, the red sandalwood species, which is valued very high in international market. And then it is an endemic species to Andhra Pradesh. And the State Biodiversity Board is headed by a chairman appointed by government, who is a scientist of repute normally, and a member secretary, and is the officer of All India Services, and generally in the highest rank of Principal Chief Conservator of Forest is posted. I am working in this post for the last 2 years, and just before this post, actually, I was the Chief Wildlife Warden of Andhra Pradesh, looking after the national parks and sanctuaries and zoo parks in the state. And all the important departmental heads, like principal secretaries or chief secretaries of environment, forest, animal husbandry, agriculture, and rural development, and then municipal administration, and principal chief conservator of forest, head of the forest department. And we have got some technical members like national Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources in Hyderabad, Botanical Survey of India, Deccan region, Hyderabad, and Freshwater Biology, ZSI, Zoological Survey of India, and representative of Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, like in Visakhapatnam. And it's a very distinguished board, and then it is constituted once in 3 years. And then we have an institutional arrangement as per the Biodiversity Act 2002 to implement the act in letter and spirit. The national level body is called National Biodiversity Authority located at Chennai, and every state has got and union territory has a biodiversity board, state boards or councils, and at the local level, local biodiversity management committees are divided into 3 levels. District level at the Jilla Parishad Biodiversity Management Committee, and Gram Panchayat level at the village level. And in Andhra, we have a system called Mandal system. It is an intermediary level. It's called a subunit of a erstwhile block, and then municipality level also. So the Act prescribes that all local bodies shall have a biodiversity management committee with a validity of a period 5 years, and they will be re-elected and reconstituted every 5 years. And this is the institutional arrangement. And just a snapshot of the activities of biodiversity board in Andhra Pradesh. Like as I mentioned, the mainly formation of the biodiversity management committees in each local body. It is headed by the Sarpanch of the Gram Panchayat, and the JP chairperson, Jilla Parishad chairperson, and the municipal mayor are in the municipalities. And one of the prime objectives is to document the bioresources available in each local body. That means plants and animals and microbes also, and registering their uses, their occurrences, their value and importance in ethnobotany, that is as a medicines, and for food, for shelter, and for several other purposes. And then maintaining that register, it is called People's Biodiversity Register, to be done by the local communities. And recently, in the last 1.5 years, we have constituted all the BMCs and prepared the biodiversity management registers also through the local biodiversity management committees under the guidance of the Panchayat Raj and Rural Development Departments and Municipal Administration Department. So mainly Biodiversity Board is a very small body consisting of only member secretary and a few handful of outsourced employees, say a few scientists and office staff. And my main job is to coordinate interdepartmental coordination and then integration of different activities of the departments, and then implementing the Biodiversity Act. So generally every act has got an implementing machinery on its own. For example, like Income Tax Act has got an income tax department and whole lot of machinery from top to bottom. Like Forest Department, Indian Forest Act or Wildlife Act, there is a department and then there is a hierarchy from top to bottom. And Panchayat Raj Act, a Panchayat Raj Commissioner, and then district level Jilla Parishads, CEOs, Gram Panchayat level officials, etc. But this is a peculiar act, Biodiversity Act, where there is no implementing machinery per se, but the people elected committees are only the implementing agencies. The biodiversity management committees are empowered to implement the act and take advantage of the provisions of the act and collect what is called access benefit sharing. Any individual or entity utilizing the bioresources from a particular local body, like the Gram Panchayat or Mandal Parishad or Jilla Parishad, they can ask them to submit the records and then value it, and then a fraction of the value of the produce can be collected as access benefit sharing amount, and that will be collected and put in an account called Local Biodiversity Fund account, and it shall be utilized for conservation related activities, which I will explain later on, like establishment of seed banks, conservation of rare and endangered species, and then identification of sacred groves, biodiversity heritage sites, tree planting, biodiversity parks, etc. And then we have prepared a biodiversity field guide, which is a comprehensive document consisting of all the bioresources available in the entire state to identify the plants and animals. And then we have established the LBF accounts in all the biodiversity management committees recently formed. And then, we have received some fund from the National Biodiversity Authority and from the entities who are accessing bioresources like red sanders. Basically, Andhra Pradesh seizes a lot of red sander wood smuggled by the illegal, contractors or illegal people, and we seize that, we sell them in auctions through Forest Department, and a portion of, like a fraction, 0.5% of the total value, it will come to State Biodiversity Board for distribution to local biodiversity management committees for conservation related activities and resource, what is called conservation, augmentation, and then taking measures and creating awareness in the public. And then we have what is called rare endangered species are there identified, and we generally notify them through a notification of the government, and then effort of special protection. We have prepared a vision plan, and then a conservation strategic prospective plan for 2020 to 2030, and we implement that through Panchayat Raj and Municipal Administration departments help. And as far as the existence of district-wise local bodies are concerned, we have got about 13,363 local bodies and 63, what is called 661 mandals in the entire state, and 120 municipalities or corporations, making it a total of 14157. This is the district-wise breakup. And as far as the formation of the biodiversity management committees, it all started from July, August from 2020 onwards. I just took over the charge of this board as member secretary, and at the time, the National Green Tribunal of New Delhi branch has given an order which is impending on the state government, that unless until these biodiversity management committees are constituted 100% and the people's biodiversity registers are prepared and put in place 100%, the state government shall pay a fine of about 10 lakh per month for the month of default. So when I joined, we were supposed to pay a fine of about 1.5 crores, and I took over charge for want of funds and for want of resources. I think the board could not form them fully, though from inception 2006 onwards, in bits and pieces, we have formed, if you look at the first table, Gram Panchayat level 6,644 committees have been formed in the last 15-16 years, and they have lapsed also. But only a handful of committees which are formed very recently in the last year, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they are still having their force. So what we have done as per the orders of the NGT, we constituted what is called technical support groups headed by district collectors in all the districts. And with the help of Commissioner Panchayat Raj, we formulated a strategy, and then conducted a lot of workshops, training programs, and interaction sessions only through virtual means, because we were in the middle of the COVID at the time, and then we were not having what is called any mobility, and then but still we are supposed to do it. So with great difficulty, we have constituted all the committees. We were in the process. Fortunately, in the last year, early last year, we had elections for panchayats also. So the newly elected committees have been headed by the sarpanchas, and all the committees all the BMCs are recently constituted. And we have submitted our compliance report to National Green Tribunal in the extended time given up to December 2021. Similarly, we have prepared the People's Biodiversity Register. Then, and the People's Biodiversity Register is also a kind of actually technical document. It has got a list of plants, animals, medicinal plants, timber yielding plants, flowering plants, animals like fish species, domesticated animals, and fishes, birds, everything is there. And it is virtually impossible for any village community to prepare them. So what we have done is we have selected universities and academic institutions and botany, zoology, and microbiology, etc., biology lecturers, faculty members, and the students, and made them into multidisciplinary teams, MDTs. For each mandal, each and every mandal, we constituted a team consisting of 3 people. And when there is no lecturer or somebody is available, even local science teacher is also made a member. And then we have fortunately what is called a village secretariat system. In every Gram Panchayat, there is an office, and then there is a village secretary. And then we have made the village secretary the secretary of the BMC Biodiversity Management Committee, and chairman the Sarpanch, and 5 other members who are knowledgeable in having what is called medicinal plants knowledge, agricultural crops, land races, and all those people, and domesticated animals like what is called black cattle, white cattle, sheep, etc. And local Vaidyas are called, Hakims, or local Vaidyas, or in local language they are called as Natu Vaidjulu, and who use herbal plants and medicines for preparation of the medicines and then administer to people. So all those people we made into committees, and with their help, we constituted the PBRs and then completed the job and reported compliance to NGT and avoided much embarrassment and fine of about more than 2,250 lakhs we have saved. And then the details of core activities, formation of the BMC is one aspect. Preparation of the PBRs is another major task. Now, making these committees function and own the responsibility of conservation of biodiversity. So for that, we have created a 15-point action point agenda. So you can see on the screen, there are 15, 16 points are there, including monitoring evaluation. We have got 16 points, wherein we update the People's Biodiversity Register periodically, conduct awareness programs to BMC members. Traditional knowledge holders will be what is called documented their knowledge, and then if there are any patenting rights are there, we can help them to get the patenting rights also. And we notify biological heritage sites as sacred groves and effort protection. And we have innovated a scheme called Home Herbal Gardens scheme, and it is implemented all over the state in all the 13 districts. And then more than 132 families, 132,000 families have enlisted for receiving the medicinal plants. This we are doing with National Medicinal Plant Board tie-up. Like that, every district we wanted to set up biodiversity park. Every mandal we want to have a Nakshatra Vanam, Rasi Vanam, and then Smruti Vanam type of thing, so that in whatever name we wanted to conserve the rare, endangered, threatened species. Andhra Pradesh has got very rare animal breeds like Ongole breed, which is a pride of Andhra, and Punganur cow. It is a very shortest cow, and then it has got very better what is called milk qualities, less in fat, more in what is called good cholesterol. Jodipi and Palla breeds of sheep, which are only grown in Andhra Pradesh. So like this, we have training and capacity building programs continuously. For this purpose, we have engaged more than 600 NGOs working in the entire state as partners. And for each one NGO, one mandal we have allotted, and then with their help and with the coordination and cooperation of the Panchayat Raj and Municipal Administration Department, directly we deposit the funds to local body funds accounts, and then they use the money and then implement these activities. So it's an entire, for this purpose, I have created a software developed through ePragati. the AP State Technology Services wing, and then in partnering with them, an online platform has been created. The links of the same have been submitted in the presentation also. We have prepared a flow chart for implementation of different level of activities. And then, this system started implementation, and we expect that, a lot of awareness will be created, and then so far neglected plants and animals will be protected, and the people will be sensitized. They also have some livelihood opportunities, and then land races, which are very vital for conservation of the agricultural biodiversity, will be conserved, and without them, no breeding program is possible for developing disease-resistant, high-yielding varieties in future. So infrastructure we have created into like institutional infrastructure, and then we would like to establish seed banks, etc. And then biodiversity heritage sites are also being identified. So we have released, we have submitted a project for 75 crores to NBA. It has been agreed in principle, and the funds will be released in the next month or so. And then we would like to infuse the local biodiversity management committees with funds so that they can implement the core activities effectively. So these are important links, web links I shared in the presentation. Kindly go through and then, appreciate the works being done by us. And if you have time, I can show a 4 or 5 minutes short film is there. You can, if you permit, otherwise I will skip it.
Sir, we don't have much time, na? So
there is a short film called 4 or 5 minutes. About the jury members, if they agree, we can make a presentation.
No, sir. In fact, we have other presentations also. You can send that.
I already submitted it. I already submitted.
Okay, we will see it later on.
Yeah. So these are the links. Kindly at your leisure, you can go through them and then understand what type of work we have done. A lot of innovation, a lot of initiatives have been taken. In fact, to say the truth, I am the only government servant in this department. Rest everything is dependent on other departments, and then fortunately we are able to complete this job. So I thought that whether I get the award or not, that's a different issue. But let it be known to people so that good work can spread. It can be kind of helpful to others also. So some of the photographs of our meetings, workshops, which we have conducted post-COVID, in the last 1 year, you can see them. A few of them only. We raise nurseries through NGOs and distribute plants to the people directly. And then home herbal garden scheme is being catching up very fast in the state. And a lot of the state level workshops with local Vaidjas, traditional healers, NGOs and government officials are conducted. And then, some of the exhibitions of the medicinal plants and products, and then conservation of lakes and tanks in the villages is another major program, and removal of the plastic waste material through the people is another movement we have started. Regular workshops, meetings, and what is called capacity buildings programs keep on going. And our honorable minister and chief ministers, whenever they find time, they participate in our programs and give advice and message to the general public. We are fortunate about it. Thank you very much. So thank you for the time and opportunity.
Sir, excellent work. Even without a formal implementation machinery, you have done so much work. It is really appreciating. Sir, I would like to know what is the role of your board in protecting endangered species, particularly the medicinal plants. How many species, such species have been protected?
Yeah. Actually, the Biodiversity Board, as I said, no, we advise the state government and local governments, district collectors and departments regarding the what are the important activities we have to take up for conservation of biodiversity, and especially rare endangered plants and species. In Andhra Pradesh, there are about 27 rare species of plants which are identified by the Botanical Survey of India. And we are now given this mandate of conservation of the 27 species. We are mapping them wherever they are occurring. Like suppose is a very big state And then, wherever pockets are there, wherever the species are occurring, like we have got a lot of Eastern Ghats patches are there, Nallamali forest patches are there, and the Seshachalam patches are there. Main 3 areas are there. They are very biogeographic very regions. And in those areas, the BMCs which are surrounded by the forest areas, the fringe areas are being mapped, and they are tied up with a academic institution or research institution for hand-holding services, and then we are conserving them. The process has started, and we are raising nurseries in the home herbal garden scheme. Whatever I have mentioned, at least 10 to 12 species of the 27 species are included, and they are being distributed to homestead plantations for individual households, so that they also understand the value of the rare species. As far as endangered animal species are concerned, so far we have listed 41 species with the help of Zoological Survey of India. For that 41 species also, similar procedure and hand-holding services with either ZSI or zoology departments of universities like Andhra University, Krishnadevara University, Nagarjuna University, and Tirupati University. And then through their help, a 4 to 5 year action plan is under preparation, and it will start implementation from this year onwards. This is
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, please. Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good presentation. I don't have any specific question to ask. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Raunak Singh ji.